We're going to talk about what individuation really is. And okay, a lot of people actually get individuation wrong. They think that individuation is about finding yourself. But in today's video, I'm going to show you that actually it goes a lot deeper than that, right? Okay, first and foremost, my name is Erik Thor, and I've been making videos about Carl Jung's psychology of individuation for more than a decade now, talking about different personality types, different styles, and different ways of being. My message is everyone's unique, and in a way, flaws don't really exist. They're only differences. And so we're not meant to engineer ourselves to be the perfect model of society. Everyone is not supposed to be, think, and act the exact same way. We are supposed to complement one another. And so because of this, you can get rid of some of the fears that you might have about individuation. Fears like, what if I'll be different? What if I'll be weird? What if people won't like me? And what if I won't fit in? Shudders. I think, according to Adler, there's this general idea that the greatest opportunity a man is given is the opportunity to give something that they value to the world, right? So he spoke about individuation and the idea of finding yourself in the sense of not just being somebody or knowing who you are, but also being somebody for somebody else. And this really ties together with humanity's deep social and community-oriented needs. We are not meant to be this modern-day individualist that we see portrayed so often in today's world. We're not supposed to live purely based on our own selfish hedonistic whims. We're not supposed to only live for ourselves and to only do things for ourselves. Ultimately, the loneliness of such a lifestyle is soul-killing. And ultimately, we find much more joy when we give to other people than when we achieve for ourselves, right? And so the thing that I think individualism got right was it really set us off on the right track, right? Because when I grew up, everyone always encouraged me to be who I was, right? Like I was given this opportunity, and I know not everyone is given that opportunity growing up, where people would let me explore my passions. People allowed me to write, people allowed me to explore philosophy, people allowed me to engage in artistic expression, to draw. And nobody told me, that's not really a viable career and you can't really do that, and that's not really what you're supposed to do, and you should be an engineer, right? Like nobody's actually actively told me these things. They allowed me this kind of creative whim, right? And so I was allowed to find myself, and that's something I think a lot of people do right. They encourage kids to explore different passions and purposes instead of telling kids who they are supposed to grow up to be, right? And can you imagine if we told everyone to grow up to be the same kind of person? Imagine if we raised every single kid in the world today to be an engineer. Can you imagine if we told every single kid today that you have to be a doctor? The imbalance of perfection is that, well, perfection, it tells us that there is one right way to live, one right way to act, one right way to work, and that this work, this career, this life is above every other life, above every other individual, right? So if you're able to achieve this, you are better than other people too. And in that sense, what I would say is the most important thing is learning to find a way to apply yourself, right? Because individuation is not just about finding yourself. So what is it about? Well, it's about learning to apply yourself. And so the struggle is not finding your purpose or passion. In a sense, that's the easy part. The difficult part is learning to make that craft, learning to make that passion something that can be useful for other people, learning to help other people through your passion, through your love, through your hobbies, through the things that you enjoy, through the things that you are genuinely good at, right? So in this, there is an expectation or a responsibility, and that is that if you find something and you notice that you're fairly good at it and that you seem to enjoy it quite a good bit, right? Like if you find that, well, you're going to have to learn to challenge yourself. You're going to have to set goals in that direction. You're going to have to think about how you can make that useful for others. You're going to have to think about how you can get better at it, what you can study to improve at it, what you can learn in order to do it in a different way. And if you find that it's something that's very difficult to monetize or to make valuable for other people, you got to think of ways to get there. What are some cross skills or secondary skills that I could use that can be connected to this in order to help me achieve my goals too, right? And yeah, that's the greatest goal of individuation, actualization, of putting yourself to practice, of not just knowing who you are, but being that person in your work, in your life, in your relationships, and with your friends, and with everyone that you love. And if you know who you are, but you're not able to be this kind of a person in your work, with your friends, or in your family, that's lonely, right? Like, if you know what it is that you love, but if you don't do it, if you have this passion, but spend all your time doing something else that's not your passion, that's sets you up for this constant state of conflict where it's like, you know, you feel like you're doing something right because you're going to get paid for it and people are going to appreciate you for the effort. But you also feel like you're doing something wrong because you feel like you're betraying yourself, and you're betraying what you love, and but you're betraying who you are. And we don't need these kinds of inner conflicts. We need a way to find balance. And so the question is, what can you do to translate your passion into action today? What are some things you can do to get better at what it is that you love, to make yourself more useful with it? What are some ways that you can start marketing it, selling it, or translating it to the world, to other people, to your community? Is there an organization that needs these skills? Is there a company that could make use of that? Are there people in the world that would appreciate that? Are there communities where you could share that, right? And yeah, that's a topic to dive into more in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to all patrons who support my channel and my work. I really appreciate you. Have a great day. Bye.